In 1969, Apollo 11 landed on the moon. In 1972, Apollo 17 departed. And then, a silence lasting more than 50 years. In an era where humanity sends robots to Mars, probes to the edge of the solar system, and builds the unprecedentedly powerful James Webb Space Telescope, why has no one returned to the place once considered humanity's greatest leap? It seems there is something that makes the moon, though very close, feel like a destination farther away than Mars itself. Today's technology far surpasses Apollo. Computers millions of times more powerful, materials that are lighter and stronger, life support systems optimized, launch vehicles as powerful as SLS and Starship. If we consider technology alone, humanity is absolutely capable of returning. But technology is not the real reason we stopped. This is a story of budgets, politics, risks, and national motivation. Apollo was not created for exploration, but to defeat the Soviet Union in a war of image and influence. In the 1,960 seconds, the entire world believed the Soviet Union was ahead. The first satellite, the first person in space. The United States needed a symbolic victory of the highest order. And once they won it, the political drive vanished almost instantly. NASA's budget was cut by nearly 90% within a single decade. With no more race to win, Apollo ended. To sustain Apollo, the United States spent nearly 4% of the national budget on NASA. Compared to today, NASA has less than 0.5%. Each modern lunar mission would require a new lander, a heavy-lift rocket, years of rigorous safety testing, long-duration life support systems. Total costs could exceed $200 billion. The most practical question becomes, who will pay for this enormous amount? During Apollo's era, if an accident occurred, the government could absorb the political damage. Today, a single crude rocket explosion in front of billions of viewers could freeze space programs for decades. Safety standards have risen to the point where risk must be nearly 0%. Every module undergoes years of verification. Even the smallest error can delay the entire schedule. Humanity simply does not dare repeat past mistakes. That caution lengthens the timeline dramatically. Apollo returned 382 kilograms of lunar rock. Those samples answered major questions about the formation and evolution of our natural satellite. But eventually, scientists had to admit, the moon contains fewer mysteries than we expected. Without new scientific breakthroughs, missions lose justification. So why do we want to return now? That answer lies ahead, and partly within decades-long controversial theories. Although NASA consistently affirms Apollo was real, many details have encouraged independent researchers to raise questions. First, the original footage is missing. In 2006, NASA confirmed that the original Apollo 11 tapes had been reused. This shocked many because such material was considered historically priceless. Second, the technology of 1,969. The Apollo 11 computer was barely stronger than a basic calculator. Meanwhile, modern missions fail despite using supercomputers. Third, the Van Allen radiation belts. NASA today still researches how to protect astronauts from this radiation. This leads many to wonder, how did Apollo pass through safely with such thin shielding? Fourth, controversial photographs, strangely sharp shadows, a sky without stars, and other anomalies have fueled debate for 50 years. None of these prove Apollo was fake, but they have kept a persistent theory alive. This is the long-standing question since the 1,970 seconds. Could humanity have never actually set foot on the moon? This theory isn't supported by mainstream science, but it rests on three major points. First point, political pressure. The Cold War created enormous stress. The United States needed a psychological victory over the Soviet Union at any cost. Second point, filmmaking capabilities of the era. Hollywood, in 1969, was capable of building models and replicating lighting similar to a vacuum environment. Third point, the disappearance of Saturn V technology. NASA has admitted the entire Saturn V production line can no longer be reproduced. Many technical documents are lost or outdated. These details do not prove Apollo was fake, but they create enough ambiguity for people to continue questioning. And ironically, The fact that we haven't returned to the moon after 50 years has only fueled this theory further. NASA now leads the Artemis program, aiming to bring humans back to the moon, build a long-term lunar base, extract ice from the South Pole, prepare for the journey to Mars. But Artemis schedules keep shifting because SpaceX's lander needs further refinement. The old RS-25 engines require updates. The Gateway station faces delays. Meanwhile, China's Chang'e program is progressing rapidly. India is rising strongly as well. A new moon race is forming not for prestige, but for real strategic value. The moon contains water ice, helium, 3 rare minerals and metals. A lunar base could become a refueling station, a stepping stone to Mars, a hub for clean energy extraction. This return would not be about planting flags, but about launching humanity's first space-based civilization. We may not have returned to the moon for many reasons: cost, politics, risks, technology requiring a reset. But perhaps the deeper reason is this: humanity has entered a stage where repeating an old achievement is no longer enough. We now aim to create new ones. The truth about Apollo, whether entirely real or still containing mysteries, matters less than what comes next. The return to the moon is approaching, and this time, we will stay. Follow the channel for the next story.